Development News of the Week, sponsored by Eagle Mortgage. Eagle Mortgage has been in business for over 30 years. They're licensed mortgage brokers serving Nebraska and Iowa. Give Holly a call or any of her very able mortgage brokers. They'll get you pre-approved for conventional VA and FHA loans. They're at the corner of 114th and Davenport, just south of 114th and Dodge, online at eaglemortgagecompany.com. And they shop your mortgage, so they're dealing with a number of lenders, not just in-house. So they're very competitive. You get that pre-approval letter. And as far as the development news of the week, the big story on our Grow Omaha newsletter, which comes out every Thursday, go to growomaha.com. The canopy construction at Eppley Airfield is really cool. And this is over and above the $600 million planned major renovation where they turn everything into one terminal. And basically what they're doing is they're doing a glass cover over the entire drop-off area, which is so cool. They announced Thursday that it's a $65 million terminal drive and canopy project, and they're calling it Build OMA, which is the call letters for our airport.
Build OMA, I love it.
Yeah. It'll be done by the end of 2024, and the $600 million project is certainly well underway. Did you hear about the $54 million Tranquility Park expansion?
I did. This is an amazing expansion for Tranquility. Yeah, lay it out for us.
The city of Omaha will invest $54 million, Tranquility Park, Northwest Omaha, which is 120th and Maple, and it'll go to the north and the west, creating a premier youth multi-sport complex and tournament facility. New hotels, restaurants, and retail are also planned along 120th between Maple and Fort. The plans for Tranquility are 13 to 16 synthetic turf multi-purpose fields, 8 to 11 synthetic turf baseball and softball fields, and they're going to improve the parking and the concessions. Projections show that the new facility will give Omaha the opportunity to attract at least 20 new regional and national youth sporting events worth $78 million in visitor spending each year. Construction will begin with the soccer fields in 2024. Baseball and softball improvements will begin in 26. Completion is for 2027. Now, this is on top of something I was involved with over in La Vista, the Nebraska Multi-Sports Complex, which is well underway with 12 field turfs. Then they're going to move to tennis courts and hopefully someday swimming. It sounds like every parent, every sports parent that travel or whatever, they're like, great, we finally have fields in Omaha. Are we going to have too many fields?
I don't know. I mean, I just think
when your kids get a little bit older.
I know. I feel like I'm going to be living at that Tranquility Park because I've got young kids, and so I'm glad to see there's going to be new amenities and everything like that. I remember playing there a lot as a kid. I was a soccer kid. So, and then to touch on the 120th and Fort in Planning Board, we've seen all the site plans for the development at 120th and Fort, hotels, retail, a lot of fun stuff, and very well timed.
And Mulholz is out there with their development on 120th and Fort, and then you also have the Elkhorn and Valley that has a big complex that's broken ground out in Valley, which is kind of the same thing.
We're going to be like youth sports mecca, so I'm okay with it.
All those parents, and they'll still travel to it used to be Overland Park had the big complex, but now Omaha is going to compete. And when we were younger, I remember after college, my friends and I would always go to Kansas City once or twice to go to the Plaza, to go to P.F. Chang's, and go to Cheesecake Factory. We really set our standards high back then. We don't have to do that anymore. We don't have to shop in Kansas City. There's plenty of shopping opportunities. Nebraska Crossing, obviously, is a mecca of that. Your board, the Omaha Planning Board, it's kind of a controversial project, approved a 199-unit apartment project planned at 144th and DuPont Circle, north of Center Street. The 5-acre site sits directly north of Harvey Oaks Shopping Center. A existing medical building must be raised before construction can begin. Now, that's been going for a couple of years. I think the neighbors have really been on that at Harvey Oaks.
Yeah, I think it's gone through a few iterations. Yeah, this was a controversial one, I think, because it's right next to a neighborhood, which people sometimes, are a little apprehensive about. I think the big one, too, is just, the one access off of 144th. And we talk all the time about traffic. We talk all the time about everything. But, density is a big thing. And I think it's a good use for the site, to be honest.
There's a lot of land back there.
It's a lot of land.
Isn't it four
a
or
lot of
five
extra
stories?
ground there right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little taller than the neighbors would like, but that sometimes happens.
But it's got its own access. It's its own thing. I think it's going to be a nice project for the area.
Neighbors will build their house backing up to a cornfield or something, and then they're shocked when it becomes a development. And that's something that happens, for better or for worse. I mean, I remember the neighbors over at L Street Marketplace, for 50 years or whatever, Western Electric, that 100 acres from 120th to 132nd, the Great Lawn, people are like, well, I saw a hot air balloon land there when I was a kid, and that's what it should be used for.
Exactly.
And now it's hundreds of millions of dollars of development.
It's those stub streets. They'll get you every time. If you buy on a stub street, just know eventually something's going to happen, despite what a real estate agent will tell you.
Absolutely. Nebraska Medicine held its grand opening this week for the 90,000 square foot facility at 175th and Burke Street on its Village Point Health Center campus. This was a Noddle Company's development. It's the fourth building on the West Omaha campus and will include the following services: heart and vascular, orthopedics, pre-surgical screening, pulmonology, and an on-site pharmacy. So that campus, you've got Madonna Rehabilitation Hospital.
Right.
You got these beautiful medical buildings. It just adds. There's still a few pieces of land on the west around Walgreens. It'll be interesting. There's a lot of rumors about what's going on there. The Oxbow, this is outside Omaha, but it's a Oxbow Crossing is a 6-acre new development plan for Highway 6 and Silver Street in Ashland. According to the Lincoln Journal-Star, plans call for a 5,300 square foot healthcare facility, an event center, a Runza, you need a Runza, and local steakhouse. Omaha-based Redline Development plans to build 48 apartments units as part of that project.
Very cool.
Yeah, and then our friend Steve Hinchcliffe and H&H construction has started on the new Kia dealership in the Steel Ridge development northeast of Interstate 80 and Highway 370, just adjacent to H&H Chevrolet. And that's right across from 88 Tactical. And that Steel Ridge on the south side, on Steel Ridge South, I think the first building's like 200,000 feet or something, but there was 50 acres that was sold to Rotella's Bakery. And that behind the Omaha Steaks plant over there, big truck dealerships. There's still some land over there, and they put a stoplight there finally on 150th Street, which kind of helps that area.
That is great. Incredible development going on out there, just exploding.
So I'm not sure what happened on this one, but Balin Manufacturing Company of Columbus, Nebraska plans to close its facility at 3838 South 108th Street along the interstate. According to the Omaha World Herald, Omaha employees have the option of transferring to Balin's operations in Columbus, Nebraska. The Omaha plant will either be repurposed or sold.
How big is that building, Trenton, do you think?
It's a big one. I was talking about it with some other brokers, and I was in it when they wanted to sublease some space or lease some excess space, but it's been a number of years. And then some exciting news before we go to break. Omaha Steaks is a great corporate company, or a great company in Omaha, a great philanthropist, was recognized as one of the Nebraska's safest companies for the 22nd year in a row by the National Safety Council.
If you like this video, be sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons. And remember, Grow Omaha is not just media. This is a mission. We are trying to build up Omaha and make it an even better place. We can only do that with your help. Share this video with your friends, neighbors, and family.